Not very warm today. Temperature's just dropped a few degrees and you can definitely feel it. But we're still going to sow some more seeds today. But we're going to do them a little bit different. Instead of putting a single seed in a cell, we're going to be multi-sowing. And it's something I've done over the last few years. And it always works out really well with certain vegetables. Because you can grow vegetables in a clump all together. And as they grow, you can twist out the odd one when it reaches the size that you want. And then you can leave the rest to grow on even bigger. So you've got a small space with multiple harvests. So if you haven't got a lot of space to work with, it's a really good option to start by multi-sowing your seeds and then planting them out as one big clump. And I'm going to be sowing seeds into one of these. Obviously you can use any type of container that you've got to do this, but I'm trying to get as many as I can in a small space. And although these cells aren't very big, we're only putting quite small seeds in there to start with. And once they've reached a certain size, we can take them out and move them on. But first things first, I've got 3 or 4 of these, so I'm going to fill in with compost, get it all ready, and then we'll have a look at what seeds we're going to be multi-sowing today. And as we fill these cells up, what we're going to do is compact the compost down and then refill it again. And the reason we do that is because by the time this plant's grown and there's a bit of a root system there, when we pop these little plugs out, the compost will stay compact and together and it won't all fall apart. So then all we need to do is make an hole and pop it in the ground wherever we decide we're going to be putting it, whether it be outside in a raised bed or in containers. So I'll finish these and then I'll get back to you. Now we've got all these trays filled, compacted down and then topped back up. We're just going to make an indentation in each cell. Not too deep because we are using quite small seeds. And the first one we're going to multi-sow are just regular onions. Some people don't relate to just using regular onions for multi-sowing. They think it's just normally spring onions. But I do this every year. And we grow 3 or 4 onions together in a little multi-sown bunch. And as I said earlier, when it comes time to harvest, we can just twist out some small or medium onions and leave a couple to grow on bigger. And everything is nicely compacted together. So it'll be between 3 and 5 seeds, just to make sure we get enough germinating. And when you do this, it'd be an idea to pre-moisten your compost as well, because then your seeds will stick to that compost when you're covering them up. You can basically just do this with any type of onion that you want. And that's them done. And just in that small area, we've got 49 bunches of regular bulbing onions, which could produce 3 to 4 onions per clump. So that is a lot of onions that we've already sown there. And then as always, it's just a light cover up. And anybody that's been following this channel for any amount of time knows that I always use the colander to ensure a very light covering on the seeds. And then we'll just run over the top, make sure everything is nicely covered. And then it's a quick water and pop them to one side. And if you're doing different types of onions, or regular onions and spring onions, then pop a label in because you won't be able to tell which is which. And now moving on to the next tray, same thing again, fill it up, compact it down, top it up, and then we make this indentation in the top to accommodate the seeds. remembering not to go too deep. Then moving on to the next one, spinach. Spinach is a really good one for multi-sowing because you can grow it all together in a nice big bunch. And the same thing again, 3 or 4 seeds in your cell. If you drop any extra ones in, don't worry, it'll just make for a denser clump. And again, as quick as that, we're done. Same thing as before. Nice light covering for compost. Once these seeds germinate, they're going to quite easily push through that compost, with it being such a thin layer, and it's really fine because we've sieved it. And we also sieve the compost for the base as well, to get rid of any big lumps. So we don't want to be packing stones on top of small seeds especially. So water, label, and once again you're done. And this time we're using beetroot. And although beetroot is a root vegetable, it's quite happy to grow together in clumps. As it grows and gets rounder and bigger, they'll just push each other away. And it's the same principle as before, 4 to 5 seeds per cell. Bear in mind when you're doing this that a single beetroot seed can actually germinate into more than one seedling. It doesn't always, but it could. But then if we have any seeds that haven't germinated, a couple of extra is going to be a bonus. And of course you can always thin them out if needs be. Another bonus with beetroot as well is you can grow it to get baby beets, or let it grow on to get large beets, or you could use half and just harvest salad leaves as they're growing. So you've got multiple choices with this sort of thing, and that obviously is entirely up to you. And that's another set done. And this next one is called salad bowl green. So it's a cut and come again type of lettuce. So sprinkle quite a few seeds in there. They're all going to grow into a nice clump of fresh lettuce. You can also get this in salad bowl red, so you could do 2 of these and have a nice mixture of colour. So I'm putting around 10 seeds, maybe more per cell. So you can see it's quite a lot of seeds per cell. And this is the last one that I'm going to be doing today. But when I've got this finished, we'll go over a few more things that you can actually multi-sow. It's really important when you're doing multi-sown lettuce that you give it a very, very light covering. Because if you don't, as these all grow into a clump of quite a few little seedlings, they'll push all that compost up in a big clump. And then it's going to look a bit messy. So the finer the covering, the better. And that's a lot of lettuce. So they're all done. And that is a lot of plants. And it's a lot of plants that are multi-sown. So you're getting more than one per cell that grows. Which for me is a good enough reason to multi-sow as many vegetables as you can. But apart from the ones that we've already sown today, there are other vegetables as well that you can multi-sow. And they include leeks. And again, same principle as a spring onion. You grow them together in a bunch of 4 or 5, and then you can just twist out 1 or 2 leeks as you need them, leaving the rest to grow on. You can do the same with radish as well, and turnips and swede. They'll all grow in the exact same way as what beetroot does. And if you've seen previous videos what we've done, you'll have seen the multi-sown bunches of beetroot that we've harvested, and we've got some really good sized ones, but 3 or 4 in a nice little clump together. And we've taken a couple of small ones out fruit season and left the others to grow on bigger. And there's also a variety of carrot, and it's called Paris Market, and they grow into little balls about the size of a golf ball rather than a long root. So they're again ideal to multi-sow and grow in bunches just like you would beetroots. And that's something we're going to be covering in a future video, because I've got the seeds for that particular variety on order. So we'll be looking at that quite soon. And I've popped all those into one of these compost trees because we can keep them in there all together, and then we can bottom water everything all in one go, which is going to save us a lot of time and prevent us from splashing any of the seeds about from one cell to another. And because we've just had another weather warning about temperatures dropping really low over the next week or so, I can just take this entire tray indoors, pop it in spare room where it's a little bit warmer, because they don't need any light until they germinate, and then everything is going to germinate a lot quicker. And if you're new to the channel and you're interested in this sort of thing and other things that we're going to be doing between now and the start of spring that we're all very much looking forward to, then please hit that subscribe button, press that notifications bell, and we'll see you at next update. Have a nice weekend. Take care.